Would it be Resident 47 up here again? This is episode 6 on my CD collection series. Last video I uploaded was a week and a half ago. And in that time, I finally got a proper camera set up, ready to go. Went out and bought a tripod, so no more humming from the computer or anything like that. But, you know the formula. 10 CDs. 3 of these are new pickups. And I have a vinyl to show up at the end. So, number 1 up is going to be Mindless Indulgence, Frankenstein Girls Will Seem Strangely Sexy. Their second album from 2000. Their second album. Their first album was Tight in 1999. Well, a lot of people don't know about that. And I first found MSI through this album in 2010. My pops had a copy of this. And it was like the most ignorant, disrespectful shit I heard in my life up to that point. Yeah, I'm trying to keep this case together because it's busted in half. Yep, there you go. But I loved it. This band was like mixing punk rock, electronic, and hip-hop all together into a beautiful mess. So this album's out of print too. That's why it took me a while to get this. I would have gotten it a lot sooner if not. But classic album, one of my favorites of all time. What's on here? Backmask, Bitches, Clarissa, reference to that show, Clarissa Explains It All. Cocaine and Toupees, one of my favorites on the album. Beat is insane. Jimmy Urine is a great producer. Dicks Are For My Friends, Faggot, which is like the big song on the album. Futures. Jimmy has a dope reference to Ghostface Killer Wildfire in that song. He's a big fan of Woo. GoldenEye, Holy Shit, I Hate Jimmy Page. I'm Your Problem Now. I love my mommy because she fucked the shit out of my dad. That song's so funny. I love that. Keeping Up with the Kids. Kick the Bucket, Kill the Rock. Last Time I Tried to Rock Your World. London Bridge, Ready for Love. Really Fucked. That's my favorite MSI song, Really Fucked. That got me through a lot. Step Up, Get Out Blaster, Whipstick, A Ghost Stop. Classic album, in my opinion. If you want to get into MSI, start with this album. Frankenstein Girls Will Seem Strangely Sexy. And I think the guy who does like the artwork for all the Gorillaz albums did this as well. And I have a crazy fucking story with picking this up. I'd actually go to a neighboring city to pick this up. And I went to the postal office. And they directed me to a different, like the postal headquarters in the town, which is like a mail annex. And they had that for me there, which that pissed me off. I don't know why that was the case. It just made no sense to me. But it's a really interesting story I had about this album. So yeah, first up. Next up, number 2. If you know me, you should probably know who this band is, even if you haven't heard the music. If you haven't, fuck you. But yeah, this is the only album I needed to complete this band discography, because I've been drooling over them the whole fucking year. And, Helium, No Guitars, 1997. Yeah, me too. I hate this album cover. It's so not them. It doesn't, so again, it's like, I don't know, man. It's so against what their style is. It's like the most laid-back album, but it's not like that, you know. And I believe this spell right here is like something like Mary Timony drew when she was a kid or something. The Wobbs. They would kill people that lived in the... That's fucking crazy. But yeah, it's my least favorite Helium album. This does not represent them in any way at all. This cover, so don't get what's the word? Don't get, I don't know, fuck it. You know what I'm trying to say. But, this EP, I first didn't like it, but it's starting to grow on me the more I'm listening to it. You get a Silver Strings, that's a good song. Dragon Number 2 is a fucking banger. I think that song is good enough to be on the Magic City. And, there's an original, demo version of that song called Dragon Number 1. You can find it ends with And. It's completely different from this, but I fucking love that song. 13 Bs, that's a great track. If that was longer and like something was written to it, I think that could have been on the Magic City as well. But you get a song like The King of Electric Guitars, which I don't know why, because this album's called No Guitars. There's guitars on every single track. There's a song titled The King of Electric Guitars. I don't know. I think the CP was like kind of rushed. But this is like the precursor to the Magic City album, which is a fucking classic in my opinion. And I will review that, because it turns 25 this year. But yeah, No Guitars, released in 1997. If you want to get into Helium, Start with the Dirt of Luck studio album, and then ends with an compilation album. That's like, that represents them the best. This represents them the worst. But still, again, nothing. It's nothing against them. I still love them. Shout out to Mary Timony, Sean King Devlin, Ash Bowie, and Brian Dutton. Even Kendall Jade Meat, whatever her name was. She was like the keyboardist for them in 1998. But yeah. Now I have their full discography. I have a big episode planned for them soon. And Kendall Jane Mead, that's her name. So yeah, shout out to her. But up at number 3, this has another crazy story, but this album turned 25 last Friday, so I had to pick it up for the occasion. Limp Bizkit, $3 Bill, y'all. Also 1997. Classic album. One of my favorite albums of all time. One of my favorite bands of all time. They get a lot of hate. I don't give a fuck. I'm not like a metal gatekeeper or anything like that. I love the new metal era. It's one of my favorite eras of rock music, along with like grunge and all that. So yeah, Limp Bizkit, they got discovered through Korn in 1995. Because Fred Durst was like a tattoo artist. He gave some shit to Jonathan Davis. And he liked what they heard. Hooked him up with Ross Robinson. They went to Indigo Ranch. Knocked out their debut album. So yeah, fucking classic. Great album. And I have another interesting story with this. When this came in the mail, it was just the artwork. It was, it was just the booklet, the disc, and the track list. No jewel case. And the seller told me that, so I can't blame him. So I had to, like, put the case together myself from 2 other cases that were, like, busted. I had to piece that together to make this. And it's in perfect condition, so it wasn't really no sweat. Yeah, great album. You get Pollution, Counterfeit. That was a song that sold me on Limp Bizkit. I just love how grimy it sounded. Stuck, Nobody Loves Me, Stalemate. That's like one of their darkest songs. Far and away their darkest song. I love that shit. Faith, the George Michael cover. They bodied that shit. Fucking love it. Fred Durst can't actually sing. Like, seriously can. That song shows that. Indigo Flow, like this like a shout out song. Leech. And there's a 16.5-minute song at the end called Everything. If you can get through that without stopping it, I applaud you. And Biscuit, $3 Bill, y'all. 1997. Happy 25 years to this album and this band. Yeah, that's their debut album. Finally happy to have that. Been meaning to get it for a couple years. And yeah, up next is my favorite Limp Bizkit album from 1999, Significant Other. And this is where they just got it. Like their music, their sound, what they wanted to be like. Even their logo was founded here. Even though, if they went with this as a logo, that would have been awesome. That would have been fucking dope too. I don't know who drew this shit, but salute to them. This is fucking cool. And this was 1999, and I think this is the album that defines that year. They became like mega superstars off this album. With all like yeah, you'll see why. But yeah, they became just the gods with this album. Just like this. Nookie, everybody knows that song. Break Stuff as well. Very controversial because of the Woodstock 99 shit, which I don't think they started any riots in that shit. Those like the rap songs, but like towards the middle of the album you get more like rock focused songs, which is where my shit is. Like I'm Broke, Nobody Like You with Scott Weiland and Jonathan Davis, Don't Go Off Wandering, even the Prince cover in 1999. Like they are seriously talented. Fred Durst is seriously talented. People like to clown him because of his voice and like his rapping. Fuck all that. And he has some gnarly screams, so raspy. I love them. But my favorite song on this album is, and the song that introduced me to it was It Together Now with Method Man DJ Premier. Fucking killer beat. No Sex, Show Me What You Got. Shout out to the Limp Bizkit community down in Kansas City. Yeah, my Significant Other is my favorite Limp Bizkit album. Classic. It defines 1999. If you want to get into Limp Bizkit, start with this album. $3 Bill, y'all, is a great place to start too. But yeah. That's number 4. And at number 5, Halfway Point. One of the most underrated hip-hop albums of all time, in my opinion. If you like the political rap shit, check this album out. It's so slept on. The Goats, Tricks of the Shade, 1992. They were a political rap group from Philadelphia. Three-piece of O.D. Kato, the M.A.D.D. and Swayzak. They had 2 albums. This was their debut. The second album was No Goats, No Glory, 1994, which I haven't heard yet. But fucking masterpiece in my opinion. It's got like a concept to it. You know, this kid named Chicken Little has to take care of his brother named Hangerhead because his mom was locked up for trying to abort him and all that shit. And it's a crazy fucking story of them trying to find their Uncle Scam at his fairly welfare freak show. I won't spoil the whole story. You gotta hear the album for yourself if you want that. But, love this album. You get a typical American. Are You Down with the Goats? Wrong Pot to Piss In. Do the Digs Dug. Do the Dugs Dig. Do the Digs Dug. TV Cops. Very relevant song today. Tricks of the Shade. The title track. I love that. Bear Fair on the album. My favorite Goat song. Not bad. That beat is just so grimy and dark. Adiya, Burn the Flag, controversial. And this album's out of print, so if you can get it for a good price, pick it up. It's worth the money. I picked this up in like 2017, and it came through airmail, so it's cracked as fuck. But this turns 30 this year. I will definitely review it. You can be on the lookout for that. The Goats, Tricks of the Shade, 1992. Don't sleep on this. The production too, Joe the Butcher produced that. It has like a real grimy East Coast basement sound to it. So next up at number 6, another underrated album from '92, which I'll definitely review this year. 7 Year Bitch, Sick'em, 1992. This is their first full-length studio album. It's not a compilation. Do not believe what Discogs or Rate Your Music says. This is their debut studio album. And 7 Year Bitch, they're a quartet, punk quartet of Celine Vigil, the vocalist, Stephanie Sargent, the guitarist, R.I.P., Valerie Agnew, the drummer, and Elizabeth Davis, the bass player. Cover's dope as fuck. You can see Valerie Agnew with like a switchblade right there. That's so dope. That classic album is just some militant, take no shit punk rock. You get Shout Down, that's a real hard song. Not. Sink, that's my favorite 7 Year Bitch song, Sink. That riff just makes me want to beat the bricks off of someone. I love it. You Smell Lonely, No Fucking War. Dead Man Don't Rape, which is like their biggest song. 8 Ball Deluxe. Yeah, I mean, no, if you like shit like a whole, Babes in Toyland, well, it's Bikini Kill. But now I was like overly feminist. If it's just like grimy shit, like speaking like the first 2 Babes in Toyland albums, you'll definitely like this album. 7 Year Bitch, Sick'em, 1992. And next up, I have 2 copies of this album, the original and the reprint. So here we go. I'll just show up both at the same time for the fuck of it. Mobb Deep, Hell on Earth, 1996, their 3rd album. This is the original print from 1996, and this is the reissue from 1999. So we'll go through for the main album. Let's go through the original, because this is how it was first released. This is how it's supposed to be released. But you know what? I fucking love this album. I love this, just the dark, haunting sound of it. This is the only Mobb Deep album fully produced by Havoc. And if people think this is the best Mobb Deep album, I won't fight them on that, because I think it is their best lyrically. And I gotta show y'all something in this booklet, which is like the reason why the original pressing is just so sought after. Is this shit right here. This picture of infamous Mobb sitting on a round table with like just a bunch of fucking coke on the table, which I believe is fucking real. Yeah. And the reissue that's like replaced like a bunch of money bundles and all that, which is weak. But one of my favorite albums of all time, fucking classic. No, this is like a really, well, I think they found their identity on the Infamous, but they just perfected it here. You get Animal Instinct, drop a gem on them. They killed Pac on that song. I'm sorry. Bloodsport, Extortion with Method Man, No More Trife Life. Can't get enough of it, which uses that Gary Burton sample that I fucking love. G.O.D. Part 3, Get Dealt With, Hell on Earth Front Lines, Still Shining, Apostles Warning, Prodigy goes off on that song. And this is the enhanced CD OG print, and if you put this in like a computer that can access that material, you get a bonus track called In the Long Run. And if you get the European OG pressing, you also get Shook One's Part 1, which this is not that version, this is the American pressing, but I just added that song to a weird sequence in the, that version. But yeah, Mobb Deep Hell on Earth, classic, dark, haunting, dusty production from Havoc. Grimy, more technical lyricism from Prodigy and Havoc. They got some more features on here like Raekwon, Method Man, Big Noid, and Nas. So yeah, classic album, 1996, mind-melting masterpiece. So I want to review that one day, because it's just a big name classic. And number 8, this guy gets a lot of shit nowadays because of how bad he's fallen off, and I think he deserves it. But a lot of these fucking rappers nowadays want to discredit him out of nowhere for his classic shit, which is fucking corny. I'm not even a stan, so don't bitch at me about it. But Eminem, the Slim Shady LP, 1999, fucking like face-melting masterpiece. I fucking love it. Eminem was like something new and exciting when he appeared on the scene. He won he got second place in the Rap Olympics. Got the attention of Dr. Dre, the story. And then the sound comes out, and it's so outside the box compared to everything else that was out at the time. The main shit out in the late 90s was like Jay-Z, DMX, The Lox, and the No Limit shit. And here comes this white guy who's like rapping about being on pills, just killing bitches and a bunch of all crazy shit. And it was so outside the box that it couldn't. And the fact that it was co-signed by Dre, it just blew up. But yeah, My Name Is, Guilty Conscience. I am not burnt out on those songs. Brain Damage, that is my shit. I played that a lot in 6th grade. 97 Bonnie and Clyde. Role Model. I think Role Model is, like, my opinion, one of the best hip-hop songs of all time from a lyric perspective. I mean, just the technicalities and the way he put all those words together is fucking insane. My Fault, Rock Bottom, Just Don't Give a Fuck. As the World Turns, another crazy storytelling song. I'm Shady. My favorite on the album is, just completely ignorant, unapologetic. Still Don't Give a Fuck. He shouts out Isham in that song. That was pretty cool. Yeah, it's my favorite Eminem album. A lot of people's favorite is the Marshall Mathers LP, which I won't fight him on. But I just love just the over-the-top, cartoony, just shocking shit he was on with this album. So yeah, Slim Shady LP released in 1999. I want him to go back to this fucking style, but that's a pipe dream. But at least we had it back then. And up at number 9, in my opinion, this is far and away the most underrated Psychopathic Records released album. Myzery, Per la Isla, 1998. I think it was like the 3rd artist to get signed to Psychopathic Records. It went Project Born, Twisted, and then it was Myzery. No. He was the 2nd to get signed. Twisted was 3rd because this came out in February 98. So yeah, fucking dope ass EP. I wish Myzery guys do full-length album called Myzery, which is spelled like the regular way. But I don't know why it didn't happen, because it's not like he left early, because he could have gotten it in 98. But no, I don't know. Maybe just the focus went more to like Twisted with Most Tasteless and all that. But classic EP. It's if you're not even a juggalo, you can still get into this, because it's just straight up just boom bap. You get the title track with Shady, who's the chick singing on the beat. Stimulated Dome, Stack It Up, probably my favorite song on the album. No, the title track. If I Ever Die, Witching Hour with ICP. Everyone knows that because it's on Forgotten Freshness 1 and 2. You know, classic EP, underrated. And to all you juggalos that don't know about this shit, where the fuck have you been? Listen to this shit. It deserves to be recognized as much as like a Twisted album or a Joker's card. It's that fucking good. So yeah, Myzery, Isla, 1998. And last CD I have to show up is one of my personal favorite albums of all time. It's also from 1996. Dr. Octagon, aka Cool Keith. Dr. Octagonecologyst from 1996. Mind-melting masterpiece again. Jesus fucking Christ, this album is insane. Cool Keith's real solo debut for being technical. Because I know his first debut was on his old name with Sex Style. But, insane fucking album. I love this. It's just so spaced out. So psychedelic and just abstract. It's the kind of shit that I love. And it's the shit that a lot of hip-hop gatekeepers will fucking, you know, have a pure disdain for. But check this shit out. What's it say? For heaven's sake, eat me before I kill more. I cannot control myself. That is just so psychotic. I love it. But, yeah, man, it's just so out there and just fucking insane. You get 3000. I got to tell you, there's like an interlude. Earth People, my favorite on the album. No Awareness. Real Raw. Blue Flowers. The self-titled song, Dr. Octagon. Girl, Let Me Touch You. I'm Destructive. Wild and Crazy. Half Shark Alligator, Half Man. Blue Flowers Revisited, which I like more than the original. That's on here. 1977. Classic album, just about a futuristic gynecologist who just goes on a killing spree. Classic fucking album. My opinion, one of the best hip-hop albums of all time. Dr. Octagonecologyst, 1996. And the vinyl I have to show up also has a crazy fucking story, but the album is Gangstar, Daily Operation, 1992. I might review this because it also turned 30 this year. This is the OG pressing from 1992. This is like very hard to get because it's so expensive on vinyl. But I found it for like $50 from the overseas. And plus with like shipping, it was like $75, which is like definitely the most I paid for a vinyl. But it's worth it because it's a classic album. It's a classic album. It should not be out of print. Get On Down needs to fucking reprint it. Let's go back here. It's not like this, sorry, hold on. Yeah, I couldn't get the disc back then, but fuck it. Classic album. My crazy story about this is this. I ordered this overseas, came from Japan, and by the way, fuck DHL. Do not use them for mailing service. If you buy something from like Japan or overseas, ask them if they can use like a different mailing system because their fucking retarded asses delivered this to the wrong address. And they thought hard about me. I'm like, no, we didn't. So I had to fucking DM these losers on IG and show them like evidence that it was delivered to the wrong address. And I got it the next day, like after work. But still, eat a fucking million dicks. Anyways, it's a fucking classic album. My favorite Gangstar album. I'm running out of time, so I really won't go through all the songs. Well, I might review this later in the year because it's my second favorite album of 1992 and my favorite hip-hop album from 92. So, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this, and all that good shit. And until then, I'll see y'all in the next one.